Good morning. All protocols observed. Let me start by thanking Ache for the good presentation. I felt like I was in a TED talk. Yes, that talk qualifies for TED, isn't it? Yes, that was a TED talk. I have learned a lot, and I'll be, you are one of the people you have spoken to. And you have also summarized, actually, the motivation behind this conference about circularity, green, innovation. You have captured it very well. In my presentation, I also want to be very structured. I want to do it in PowerPoint. But as government, you know, like you have said, enforcement doesn't move as fast as idea development. Because in enforcement, you have to look at law. Is there a law? Which clause? Which charge? Okay? How do I charge you? Have I done awareness? And so it's a bit slow. I'm still waiting for my PowerPoints. Yes. This is me, not the PowerPoint. Okay, now here it comes. Thank you. So I'll talk about the real. What is happening really? What is NEMA doing? After my presentation, I would like to influence you. I would like you to have a feeling. I want to raise your emotions. Whether you are feeling that Kenya is progressing appropriately towards the green economy, sustainability, zero plastic, zero waste. That is the indicator, my KPIs. Now, about my company, my organization, NEMA, we are a government institution. We were established in 2002 with a mandate to supervise and coordinate all environmental matters and the implementation of all policies. Next slide. And these are the laws that we enforce. So when you talk about enforcement, you start with the tool first. Which tool do we use? And for waste and plastics, we have adequate tools. We have enough tools to move the country towards circularity. We have, since 1999, the MCA, we have the policy in place, we have the Act in place, we have extended producer responsibility regulations, although it is contested in court right now. And then we have waste management regulations, and we have the plastic packaging regulations of 2024, which we are currently using to enforce extended producer responsibility. And to get these policies has not been easy. Okay? So, and that is why enforcement, I said, it moves slowly. It is a journey. And the journey started back in 2007, about 2 decades ago, when we started by imposing 120% excise duty on plastic bags. And then it didn't work because the cost was thrown to the consumer. And so we decided now to go for the thickness of the bag. And so in 2010, we didn't want bags less than 30 gauge, but the problem continued. And in 2017, a total ban was done on plastic carrier bags. And that led the private sector to wake up because we wanted to do more bans, but we didn't have data. So we were doing it out of gut feeling. Yeah? So we had to come up with a framework of cooperation, and a company was formed called PETCO to deal with PET. And then KEPRO was formed in 2020 to deal with the bread packaging bags. And then still, voluntary, many people are out of enforcement. And to enhance enforcement, we had to come up with the National Sustainable Waste Management Policy in 2021, and then followed by the Act to make these things enforceable. And then we have the EPR regulations 2024, plus other regulations that I have I have shown you earlier. Now, one good thing about the revised regulations, especially on sustainable waste management 2024, is that we have waste management standards. They are in place. And also, we have the national character code, how you store and manage your waste. Where we have the green for organic, general waste is black and blue for recyclables. And of course, I know this is not very favorable to the waste service providers who are here. The fees went up, okay? Because we felt that we will need, we needed more money to help NEMA to do their work. So these are the gains out of the Waste Management Regulations 2024. Next slide. Now, today I feel that we are talking a lot about plastics. And I came up with a few facts that these are from books. You can read this, that the plastic has increased cumulatively, the world has all that. But studies done in Nairobi shows that we have this composition. 60% of our waste is organic, 30% recyclable, and 10 others. 9% of our waste in Nairobi is plastics. And Nairobi alone produces approximately 500 metric tons of plastic waste daily, where less than 10% get recycled. So where is the rest? The rest is with us in our estates. It is burnt, and so you are breathing it in, and so it's a serious case. Next slide. But dealing with plastics is not easy. They still remain the preferred packaging, the preferred choice in terms of items to use, because it's cost effective, easy to use, convenient to store. You can do bulk packages at low cost as compared to alternative bags. I was very happy when we were talking about the hyacinth. We even have the khaki bag. Yeah? We are aware of that. And then the question is, why is NEMA approving more plastic bags? Because of cost, okay? They are light, less storage space, quicker to open pack, and double wrap. But these are the negative aspects of plastics: aesthetics, toxic when burnt, ingestion, flooding, breeding grounds, take centuries to decompose. So the discussion about plastic is a good discussion because of these negative impacts. We know that in 2017 we banned the plastic bag, but it is still there. Why? Because some of the uses needed to be retained. We adopted a phased approach in getting to zero plastic packaging in Kenya. And for us to get there, all plastics that are in use in Kenya now, plastic bags, plastic packaging materials, are those that are licensed by NEMA. They are authorized. And for you to be authorized, you have to make an application and you pay some money. We need to know the volumes. So the volumes are here. So how much do you want to put in the market? Next slide. And there are prohibitions. Nobody should manufacture, export, possess, using plastic bags is prohibited in Kenya. Even offering for sale plastic bags or plastic film without authorization. And with authorization, you can now have the items in the market being used. But I'll show you other restrictions that we have put in place. Now, so these are the uses that are allowed. So if you want to apply to use plastic in Kenya, if you are not within this allowable areas, that is construction sector, agricultural sector, manufacture of tents, mechanical and machine parts, that is lapping because of dust. Yeah? Household wares, again, because of dust. Garbage bags are allowed. Caution tapes, vegetable and food packaging bags, diaper, and then any other material that may be determined by the authority from time to time. But for you to do that, you must get a license from NEMA, and you must be a member, or you must prove that you will collect those plastics from the environment. And so these are the materials that currently have applied for use of the plastic bag, food, primary industrial packaging, garbage, sanitary wares, shrink wrappers, textile wrappers, etc. And we have a criteria for that. We do not accept just any plastic, okay? It must fulfill this criteria, that is recyclable, what it is used for, product preservation or public health concerns, security measure, or required for water and dust proofing, to maintain product integrity while on transit, does not constitute over packaging. So if you ask for secondary packaging and we are not convinced that it is required, then you will not be around. Okay, and these are the license conditions. So that criteria that I have shown you, when you apply, you are also given conditions to follow. Like, for example, a manufacturer can only manufacture for those with valid license from NEMA, okay? And then for primary industrial packaging. And then not for sale at the counter. And then we have other conditions. So it is not a license. NEMA license is not what you see on the front page. It is what you see on page 2, the conditions. And these are the conditions that we ask for. Now, why we are doing that is because responsibility in Kenya in waste management has shifted, and we have what we call the extended producer responsibility. And it has changed the landscape of waste management in the country. So that now, generation and storage, make sure you do it in green bag, or if you have synthetic, you store it in black bag or blue bag. Destination has also changed. Not the way we knew before, it goes to the dam site, now it goes to the composting facility or MRF. Technologies, composting, black soldier flies, etc. We are waiting for more technologies. And I'm sure they have been mentioned here. Reuse, upcycling, recycling, incineration for synthetic. Responsibility. This is very important. So when you see waste out there, don't blame the county. You know, there before we used to blame county. You are blaming them wrongly. Although waste is a devolved function, when we come to interpretation of the law, the details of the law, counties are only managing organic waste. All synthetic is managed through EPR schemes. So when we see waste out there, then we see paper, we see plastic, we see metal, and others. Please, let us know where to place the blame. And of course, we blame the importers and also the manufacturers. Okay? Because why are you not attracting the waste picker? You know, waste pickers are magnets. Yeah? They are attracted to the waste if it has good compensation. Now, players, we have many players, including ourselves, as waste generators. And so the responsibility, therefore, has shifted to the two people. That is, the waste generator. Make sure you place your waste at the appropriate place. But when it comes to processing, county for organic, the producer for the inorganics. And we already have a framework on how to do to manage waste. You can either do it individually or collectively. And so, for management of waste, we have different players such as producers, the extended producer responsibility schemes, and then the importers also have a responsibility, and we have left it open. There is still something open in our regulations products that produce waste that can negatively impact the environment, human, and animal health. This is a very important clause. Ukienda serikali, if you see the government leaving something not useful at that time, it can be used tomorrow. For example, we can use that clause even to subject organic waste to EPR. So this is how we implement EPR. It's either corrective or individual, but then you have to present certain documents to NEMA, what we call the EPR plan. Next slide. And so the landscape has changed. So county on top. This blue top is county. It is yourself and county and other players that are in there dealing with organic composting, the black soldier fly farmers. But down here, black bean, blue bean belongs to the producers. And so what is likely to happen in the near future? The county may say, place your waste outside. And then they just come and pick the green bag and leave the other waste there. It is legal. It is legal to do that in Kenya. And then they claim, hey, you, private sector, can you come and pick your waste? So that is how our legal framework looks like. So the government has finished the policy, as I have explained. Where do we have a problem right now in waste management? In the middle, here. Because the players, the private sector, have not come up with a way to manage their waste. What we hear from private sector is, we are trying, we are organizing ourselves. But Kenyans are still suffering. They are still suffering from open burning and other things. Now, at the far end, of course, it is the other players, including Akshay. They are ready. And Akshay has said that there is capacity. There is some capacity that is not utilized in Kenya. And that is why he's talking about export of waste instead of doing it locally. The waste pickers in the room, they are ready on that green side. So far, we have 4 PROs, thanks to Kenya Association of Manufacturers, because they are the ones who have groomed these organizations to come up. Of course, the textile people, we don't see them here. We have not seen the textile people. The motor vehicles and the borders, they are not here. We are wondering, where are you? But as I said, enforcement is slow. But it will still catch up with them. Next slide. So we have started enforcement. Our enforcement is based on our monitoring. If we monitor in the environment and we find that there is a problem, we quickly do what we call restoration orders, clean the site, and you do re-engagement with your collectors. So this is happening now. It's happening now, but like I said, the enforcement is a bit slow because of the dynamics. There are a lot of dynamics that are in place, but we have started. The penalties are there in the law. Very good penalties. If you don't sort your waste at source, 20,000 fine. If you carry mixed waste, 50,000. If you operate a waste management facility illegally, 2 million. And you see, for producers, the same way. So, if a producer does not do their work, 2 million. Retailer, this is very important for shops, shopkeepers. If they stock items that are not at a PRO, they are also penalized, 2 million. Producer giving wrong information, not being a member, that is the free riders, penalty 2 million. The penalty is quite good. So the law is in place. Okay. Now, so what kind of enforcement is going on now? Now, waste is a devolved function. Dam sites are managed by counties. Of course, we don't want dam sites. But then, do we tell counties to establish MRFs? They will slap us with a bill. So what we have asked counties to do is Number one, to respect the national color code, so that green from this building reaches Dadora as green and it is stored there as green. So we have already directed them to reorganize dam sites to receive this segregated waste. But what is the response from counties? They have told us, NEMA, come and give us technical support. What technical support do you need to just decide that organic should be deposited there? Okay? So that waste pickers can go there and do composting. And then black here. And then blue there. And EPL come and pick from black and from blue. So you see, what we are saying is that we are not getting adequate cooperation from counties. And that is a problem. And you know there are governments. So our last engagement with them about 2 weeks ago, here, in the office here, they asked for a technical committee of NEMA and them to discuss again this matter. So please don't ask why enforcement is slow. We are trying, but there are roadblocks on the way. Now, for EPR, it is in court, but not everything is in court for EPR. We are enforcing the plastic management regulations, and the producers had up to August 2025, to transition, because the regulation was from December 2024. There is a mistake there. Now, so what we have done is that we have written to the PROs, because we have realized that PROs wanatudanganya, they cheat us. Yes, they cheat us. You know, I sit on that desk. And so what PROs are doing, they recruit companies. Companies are good at paying the registration fee. If it is 500 shillings, they pay very quickly. And they get a certificate. And then they don't pay the EPR fee. So in actual fact, have they done anything? So, but when you look at their list of members, so many, but they have not paid for collection of waste. So the other thing is that those who are trying, we noted that they are collecting from places that are not licensed, okay? Which is wrong. I showed you the figure for a license to operate a waste management facility. So you cannot pay 80,000, and then the person who is benefiting from EPR is from an unlicensed facility. So we have demanded that let us have the licensed facilities only to participate. Now for plastics, we have gone ahead to write to supermarkets. We have told them, can you remove all those plastic packaged materials that are not compliant with the NEMA? So that now it has gone to that level of being not allowed to access the market. That is where we are now. And as we go to the next second phase of licensing, we will discuss more on issues to do with recyclability, recoverability, will be the main items that inform our licensing in the second phase of our licensing. Challenges, I think I have explained the challenges. But now, let's talk about the UN Treaty. Because I saw there is a discussion coming later on the UN Treaty. There is a negotiation going on to come up with the UN Treaty on plastics, because plastics are, you can find plastics from other countries in Kenya. So, and the areas of discussion are everything plastic, including plastic products, the exemptions. I've told you that in Kenya we also have exemptions. That is, we have a phased implementation, then design, supply, sustainable production, releases and leakages, plastic waste management, existing plastic pollution, and others. Now, where are we? Because plastic supports economy of some countries, we have faced roadblocks. So we cannot say where we are. We are out there in the wilderness. We have met 6 times. We have not made progress. As per 5.2, which ended the other day, we did not agree, and everything is being negotiated. But of course, we are keen on this because we have porous borders, we have plastic drifted into our international water bodies like Indian Ocean and Lake Victoria, loss of jobs. When we do very well in plastics, in enforcing plastics here, some companies move to our neighboring countries, so their economies grow at the expense of Kenya being very strict, and the global is a shared resource. So what is our advice to all of us? All of us, the advice is we have been challenged by counties. Why is NEMA keen on issues to do with waste and it's a devolved function? The waste was devolved. To touch waste was devolved. But the environment bit of waste was not devolved. It was left to NEMA. So that surface that touches waste, whether it is a truck, whether it is the ground, that one is regulated by NEMA. Okay? And so we need the waste sector, the waste informal players. Please formalize yourself so that you can benefit from EPR. MRFs, we need them. Transport schedules are very important. You know, we are regulating EPR. How sure are we that the waste pickers are benefiting from EPR? I can only be sure of that if I see waste moving, what we call evacuation of waste. And so evacuation to us is very important. And so we demand for more engagement with all waste service providers, as evidenced by minutes of meeting. You know, we are dealing with money. And so there must be negotiation that give me 5 shilling, no, it's 6, like that. Okay, I think that is my last slide. So as I finish, we are trying. Yes. However, private sector, don't pay Joyce 500 shillings. Private sector who are here, Joyce is complaining. Hapro came to me the other day. They are complaining. These guys are paying me just the registration fee. They don't pay for waste management. Now, how do you expect Joyce to proceed if she's not paid? Okay? Then counties, you have had the challenges that we are facing. And with those many remarks, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr.